Welcome, welcome. Okay, we are live here, and I have my beautiful friend, Miss Branden Lanette, and we are doing a training here on her latest publication, or actually her first launch of her book, as she has named it Once Upon a Time, Bitches. There you go. And if you have not seen her full story and you have not seen her whole, exactly like you have to hear her story because it is so amazing. I just love stories, but this one is quite fabulous. And the thing that she always wanted to do and always dreamed of being was an author. And so she did it. And we're here to witness and support her and cheer her on, especially as she goes into her second launch of her next book. I can't wait. So here she is. She's going to be sharing some amazing truths from her book and some incredible wisdom. So I'm going to let you take it away, beautiful girl.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm super excited to get to do this. Taylor invited me for this. She's doing some incredible things with the She Network. So definitely awesome responsibility to get to hang out with you guys. A fast thing if you haven't heard my story. I'm a mom, you guys. Like, I'm a mom to 6 babies and fur kids, and that's my jam. Kids are expensive. We needed money. And my whole dream was to be a writer. So I went through this journey of thinking I was going to be like this New York Times bestseller. So I wrote some fiction craziness, went through a lot of rejection, and that wasn't working out for me. I didn't quit writing. I just had to find something that was going to actually pay the bills so I could take care of babies. So I discovered network marketing, and that was a whole... network marketing. I feel like we're all in that industry, and you guys understand the struggle. It's a love-hate relationship. A lot of love, but it comes with a lot of struggle too. And this book came, the author and me, coming through this journey. Personal development is a non-negotiable if you're network marketing. If you're not growing as a person, you'll never grow a business. And one of the struggles I had with entering this industry and pretty much my whole life is I'm a daydreamer for one. And so I used to daydream and just wish that things were easier. Like I just wanted things to happen easily. I felt like I've been through enough struggles in life. Like, when does it get easy? Why do I always have to be the strong person? Why do I always have to be the better person? Like, it was always like a why me? And when is it going to get easy? And when is it going to be my turn? Who's going to save me? Because I feel like I carry the weight of the world. And if you're a mom, you definitely know what I'm talking about when I say that. We just carry a lot. And I've learned something I wish someone would have told me a long time ago. No one is going to come save you. Like, it's never going to get easier for you. It's going to get different, and it's going to get harder, challenging in a different way. So it's important that you are working on yourself to get better. So Once Upon a Time, Bitches came because obviously I didn't have the greatest childhood. So I locked into like the fairy tale, the Cinderella with her prince. And I used to think that was my escape. I needed a prince to save me. We all wanted that rich doctor, right? Like some guy in the Ferrari to save us and just pay all our bills, and we could look pretty and sit by the pool all day. Yeah, you could get there if that's the life you want, but it shouldn't be because of a rich doctor. I want it to be because of you, right? I wrote this book because I feel like we all needed kind of a blunt wake-up call. I'm definitely not your typical network marketer model. I'm definitely not the Instagram beauty. I'm not a lot of things. And I think that was even more important for me to push to get this out so that people could see. It doesn't matter what you look like or where you came from or who you are, what you've done. If you want to show up, just show up. We all have a gift to share. And that's what kind of got started on this. So I'm going to share with you guys. I don't know if you've read the book or not. You're getting like an awesome scoop. You're getting like the 7 most important parts of what I share in these pages. And that's my 7 maxims. Maxims are like truths, right? So there's 7 of them that I think were really important for my first dream come true version of becoming an author. So the first one I've kind of already explain that here, you guys. No one is coming to save you. Like, you may not be happy, you might be stuck, you might be struggling through the mud, but the only person that is going to change that situation is you. And the sooner that you realize that you're on your own, the sooner you can connect with people that are ready to move in a forward momentum. I know that's I have a lot of paradoxes going on here. You really have to realize how alone you are to be able to connect with people so that you're not doing this journey by yourself, you guys. So no one's coming to save you. It's not about getting easier. It really is about getting better. And it's about going through those struggles that you're going through now are the stories you're going to get to share later to inspire people to keep going. I'm the queen of rejection. Like, I've heard no my entire life, rejected from birth, basically. I'm being a little dramatic, but my mom rejected me, and that's my power now. My power is that once upon a time I thought, who could love me if my mom couldn't love me? Like, I'm out there alone. And now my power is, like, I don't need anybody to love me because I love me. So, she's off the hook. I don't need anything more from her. But my second maxim, and this is like probably the hardest truth I share in the book that makes people uncomfortable, because we like to be safe. We like to feel safe, and we like to make sure that nothing falls on us. But my second maxim is that you have to accept responsibility for where you are. It's very tough. It's very tough because our human instinct is to fight back at that and be like, no, this wasn't my fault. My mom rejected me. This wasn't my fault. My husband cheated on me. This wasn't my fault. Like, there's always going to be it wasn't my fault. It's not my fault that I don't like my life. This just happened to me. It's how I was raised. That stuff doesn't count in the big girl world, right? It doesn't count in the real world. You have to accept responsibility for where you are and how you feel and what you're doing. If you don't like your job, you chose it. You have the same power to choose something else. Yes. If you're in a miserable relationship, again, like, you have the power to choose something else. Nobody is responsible for how you feel. Nobody is responsible for the choices you make. Like, it was easy for me. I just got called out on this a few weeks ago. I hid behind my babies, honestly. Like, I love them and I would have a million, but having babies is my comfort and my security to stay small, because being out there is a very scary thing. And I chose to keep having babies because having babies means I'm not available. I can't travel everywhere. I can't go on a whim. I can't, go speak here and do, like, I've played it safe and I've hid behind that. That wasn't anyone else's choice. It's not something I regret, but I know me wanting another baby at this point after having 6 is not only gluttonous, right? I'm being very greedy. It's my fear factor clicking in and saying, oh my God, you better have another baby so you can lock yourself down. Like, we have those natural things, and you have to learn to break that cycle by taking that responsibility. I hid behind babies, and I'm very grateful that I did that. Now I'm happy that I took responsibility for that, and I can move forward now to enjoy, different parts of what's coming. My third maxim, you guys, and I think this is very important in the world that we're in right now with social media, comparaitis. Like, we compare ourselves to anything and everything. And if I'm being honest, there's always going to be someone out there that's prettier than you, that's richer than you, that's smarter than you, that's funnier than you. Like, if you're looking for it, you will always find it. Okay. But you have to stop comparing yourself, because there are no two Brandons in the world. There's no one, right? We are our own person. It's not a chance that you're here. I think it's like a 1 in 4 billion gazillion chance that your DNA makeup made a person. You are no accident. So stop comparing yourself and stop thinking that that's how you have to live, or that's what you need to be like, or that's what you need to look like, or you can't really start until you're ready because you're not a size 4. And, like, you guys have to stop comparing yourself, because you don't know anyone's real story. You don't know where people are. And what makes you is all the bullshit that you've gone through. Like, that's your magic. Your magic is the struggle. Your magic is, you know, everything that you've been through to get to this point. So don't sell yourself short by comparing yourself to someone that probably would never be able to walk a mile in your shoes. You guys have to keep your blinders on and understand that you're doing you, and people need you out there sharing your gift. That's why we're here. That's our purpose, is to figure out what our gift is and to share it with other people. Maxim number 4. This one is fun and it's easy for me because I think people think I'm crazy anyway. But you guys need to dream so big that people think you're crazy. Like, I want you to dream ridiculous dreams that when it comes to talking to other people or to sharing them, I want you to feel nervous. I want you to feel like, oh my God, if I say this, they're going to want to put me in an institution. That's how big you should dream, because that's reality. Like, those dreams, once you let yourself wrap your mind around everything you can and can't have. My husband and I have been telling his family for a year now about our dream house. And it's, you know, $1 billion house. There's no way at this point in time we can move in tomorrow, right? But I know I'm going to be there. And they think I'm insane. So the fun part is to know that I like when people doubt me. It's a power. People are like, yeah, that'll never happen. Well, people never thought I was going to have 6 kids. People never thought I would have a successful marriage. People never thought I could run a business. And I definitely can assure you, people never thought I would publish a book. So my power is in people doubting me. And I want you to dream so big that people are doubting you too, right? I want you to even feel uncomfortable with yourself, privately dreaming that, to be like, whoa. Feel that fear and embrace it and understand that that's going to be your power. And someday you're going to look back and laugh and be like, I remember when I was so afraid that I really didn't think this could happen. It's okay. That's where the magic starts. The next one, this is another one that's pretty hard. So your life is a sum of all the choices that you make. Like, every choice you've ever made, that is what has brought your life up to date. So with saying that, I need you guys to understand that if you're like, today, man, I'm so inspired. I do want something bigger. I want something more. I'm ready to push this forward. Just deciding that today doesn't mean that tomorrow and the next day are going to bring all the answers to that, because today is because of your choices yesterday, right? So this is the magic of knowing that your choices matter. Some choices are going to close doors. Some are going to open them. Some are going to break them down altogether. So understand that you should always just choose the next right thing. And don't beat yourself up for the mistakes, because I think that's another part of what we do in the world. You're going to be in the arena. You're going to be getting your butt kicked, and that's okay. Forgive yourself for, the choices that you might feel bad about later. I don't want you to ever have any regrets. Understand that we have to grow through this process. There's not a manual. There's no written instructions to say, if you want to get to point B, do, 1, 2, 3 on subtitle C. Like, it's not spelled out for us. You have to fall a little bit to find the strength in getting up again. And you never really fail unless you're quitting. So, I think that's super important. And then number 6 of Branden's 7 Maxims is get rid of the negativity. Like, I'm talking about serious, draining, negative people in your life. I'm not talking about your cousin Vinny, who was like, girl, you're going to sell makeup? I don't think that's a good idea. Like, of course, Vinny's going to doubt you. Okay. I'm talking about the person that is like, every single day you feel a little less than when you talk to them. Every single day they're wearing you down. There's nothing positive coming out of it. People are going to doubt you. Your friends and family are going to question what the heck you're doing. Okay. There's a difference of someone disagreeing with where you're going to go eat for dinner, or, being cautious of decisions that you're making, than someone that is draining your energy. And I don't care if it's family that's negative. If you have something toxic in your life, you guys, it is mandatory that you cut it out. And it's not just the people in your life, it's everything around you. So I'm talking like, if you're someone that's addicted to watching the news, or, reading gossip magazines, or scrolling on Instagram to see what's going on, that is a negative impact in your life, whether you can see that now or not. that stuff is getting planted into your subconscious, and there's never anything positive out there. So trade out that negative stuff and put in like an awesome podcast, something inspiring, Google Les Brown on YouTube and whatever it takes to get positive stuff in your ear, because negativity is going to drain you and it will stop you in your tracks and you won't even see it coming. My last maxim for Once Upon a Time Bitches, I think, is like the most important. It ties everything in all together. And this is love yourself. Like, if you are not loving you, you're not growing and you're not going anywhere. We put this expectation on other people to love us more than we love ourselves. We want to be accepted. We want to be validated. We are influenced by people's opinions, people's approval. And if that's how you're going to live, you're not going to make it very far, because the only person's opinion that matters is the one staring back at you in the mirror. When you can be comfortable in a silent room alone with yourself, I feel like you kind of made it. And that's some of my favorite times. Like the kids are always like, can we turn on the radio? And I'm like, can we just have it quiet for 1 second? Like, just quiet. You really have to enjoy your own company. You have to care about your opinion. And the only words that matter are the ones that you're telling yourself. There isn't anything out there that anyone can say, because they're not living your life. And it same goes for you. Don't have an opinion on anyone else's either. There's not much you can say about what other people are doing. And usually people that are succeeding don't have anything to say about people because they're so busy doing their own stuff. So that's part of cutting out toxic people. If you're around people that are talking about people, those are the wrong people. You should be so busy working on what you're doing that your blinders are on. But loving yourself, guys, those words that we're telling ourselves, I think, are subconscious. You don't even know whose voice you're listening to at some point in your life, because you do have those influences since you were a kid. Is it your dad's voice saying that money doesn't grow on trees? Is it your mom's voice saying, that's never going to work out for you? Like, those voices in your head are a sum of everything that you've been around. So you have to check that at some point and understand, like, you have to find you. You have to discover what your voice is, what you like, what you love, what you're passionate about. I have a fear of birds, and I'm pretty sure I got that because my mom was afraid of birds. A bird has never done anything to me, but I kind of took that in and I adapted that as something that was mine. And I'm trying to grow out of that. Like, what is that my voice? Are they, what if birds are amazing? What? So figure out whose voice you're listening to in your head and start learning how to change it. And I do that with like affirmations, making sure that I have powerful I am statements. I think this is an incredible thing to go into a new decade with. You want to create your vision board with those crazy big dreams, whether you believe it or not. I mean, if you're laughing and you're posting pictures just for fun, trust me, you're going to freak out when you start seeing some of that stuff come into your life. Like, it's amazing how it works. I want you guys to just seriously, big, crazy, loud, put it out there. Get your I am statements going, and don't let anybody else define what success is for you. You guys, this is your journey. No one's gonna do it for you, really. So you make the best of it by being the best version of you. And that doesn't change. Even when, you get through that first level of personal development and you're like, this is awesome. I'm working on everything. I've got Branden 7 Maxums down. You're going to stub your toe and realize, like, you have to do that all over again for the rest of your life. Like, you have to keep critiquing it and you've got to keep growing. And that's how the magic of abundance comes into your life, and the magic of success and getting to do cool things like, hang out with Taylor and the She Network. So, that's my 7 Maxims, you guys, in a nutshell.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna tap into a couple of these things. We'll have like a little dialogue, if you don't mind.
Oh, of course.
So I love all of this. I love because everything that you're saying here in these truths, the reality is that we never arrive, and that's everything that you shared. Like, no matter where you are in your journey, these are really principles that need to be as a student, you need to be a student of on a daily basis, because we never arrive at these. Whenever you were talking about just the one that nobody's coming to save you. And I think as women, I think, brought up, being read fairy tales that sometimes as little girls, maybe we've gotten off track because we start believing we've seen the movies enough that we start thinking this is the way our life should be. And so whenever it's not, and it doesn't start unfolding like that, because there becomes this realization of maybe what happened, and so this is a powerful truth that ties into the second one, because something that Larry and I have always really focused on, especially if you're in business for yourself, being an entrepreneur, you have to take self-responsibility. I mean, there's just there, and I think that's part of human nature, that you want to lay blame at someone else's feet and point, spotlight on someone else, something that they did or something that, you're justifying the reason why you are where you are. And, this one right here is until you do this one right here, it's really hard to start developing the other skills. We have to take a hard look in the mirror. So I love that one. And the compare-itis one is probably, I would definitely say it's probably my favorite, because we live in such the world that it's in our face all the time. We are bombarded with someone else's life, through social media, and someone else's success, and whether that's, how she looks or her fitness or her, and I'm saying her because as women, that's naturally, I think we naturally want to do that we kind of evaluate ourselves based on someone else's measuring stick, and it's such a dangerous playground, because it's no matter what, because compare-itis, it's either you're greater than or you're less than, and either one is completely unhealthy, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so I think this one probably is definitely mine, and because we do have to, as women for sure, keep our blinders on and keep it real, and understanding that your journey is your journey.
Yeah.
You are unique, and you have gifts and talents that nobody else has. You have a gift inside of you that nobody else has. And whenever you try to be like someone else or compare like someone, it becomes completely inauthentic. And then you're constantly unhappy. You're never, it's a really a dead end road for sure. But I do love this one. Dream so big that it's uncomfortable. That's powerful. That's so powerful, because it's almost, that's a stretch for everybody. No matter who you are, that's a stretch for everybody.
Yep.
And I love the way you positioned it as being uncomfortable, because nobody likes to be uncomfortable.
Mm-mm.
Right?
Right.
And nobody wants to be uncomfortable. And so whenever you start stretching your mind out, no matter what you've achieved, no matter what you've accomplished, no matter where you are, we can always achieve more. There's always more out there. And so becoming uncomfortable, no matter who you are, we should always be uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
such a great life lesson. I love that. And oh, this one, life is the sum of all your choices. Boy, that can really slap you in the face.
Ouch. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Whoa. I mean, and this is Larry and I, we talk about this a lot, especially in business, because, and you kind of said it, like what, because we always talk about like what you do today doesn't show up till tomorrow. What you do this week, next week, this month, next month, this quarter, next quarter, it's like, okay, it's like you didn't just, end up with an extra 50 pounds. It's because you did it one day at a time.
Yes. Yes.
And so if you're overweight, okay, well, it's been a series of choices that you, right?
Yeah.
So, but the thing about it is, what's great about that is that if you made the choices to get there, you can make the choice
reverse
the other way.
Yes. Yep.
But that gives you hope. So that's such a great, and it's your choice, right? So that's
right.
really great. And get rid of all the negativity. Like, geez, like how many people's dreams are robbed out from under them because of someone that they allow to speak in their life, and rob them of the dream stealers, or they buy into that word. They buy into someone else's story. I was always taught, like, it's not necessary that they buy your story.
Right.
It's necessary you don't buy theirs.
Right. That's good.
And so, I love the negativity, and it's I don't know, like one of the interviews that we did with Robin Braun, and we were talking about frequency, right? How, your body is on frequency, and how, like, the things that we put into our mind, the things that we watch, food that we eat, that lowers our frequency or our energy level. And so so whether it's music or someone's words or whatever that is that impact us and bring us down, you're not only affecting your life, but you're affecting your health.
Right.
You're talking about your health, like something like should be so precious to you, always guarding, no matter what.
Yes.
So these are such great life lessons, and just, loving yourself. It seems so easy to do, but why is it so hard for most people to embrace? Why is that?
Because it's not comfortable. All the truth comes out of the fact that we made some bad choices, took some wrong turns. Facing yourself will be the hardest thing you ever do, and understanding that you don't just look in the mirror one time and it all works out from there. It's every single day being accountable to understand you have to love that reflection staring back at you for everything, women, oh my gosh, women, we look in the mirror and we look at everything we hate. That's our thing. Like every stretch mark, every, saggy boobs, everything. And I joke about this because I was that person, that got really super overweight with choices I was making. And I was that person that hated everything I was looking at. But I'm a person now that loves that I accepted that responsibility. I love what my body has done with having 6 kids, and I appreciate all of it. I don't want the responsibility of being the Instagram model that has to focus on the airbrushing and the tan line. Like, I appreciate that I can be real and love what's looking back at me. So once you start doing that, and it's not easy, it's just little parts at a time. Like look in the mirror and, man, I love my eyes. Man, I have a great smile. Small things that you can start loving about yourself. And that's changing the I am statements in your head too. And then you start coming at it saying, man, I am powerful. Man, I am strong. I am beautiful. I'm loving. Like the magic comes from just one day at a time, looking at each part of the thing you love. And then when we love ourselves, we treat ourselves better. So, you know, that negativity starts to fade on its own. We do start shying away from things that make us not feel good or feel less than. So it's
I love what you're saying because, you know, this piece right here, because one of the first interviews that I did in the She Network was with Stacy Danford, and she's the gratitude coach, right? And she said for years and years and years how she would look in the mirror and how she hated her legs. She hated her legs, right? And so she started changing the film, like what Larry and I teach, changing the film and the projector, and started thinking about all the reasons why she loved her legs, because they got her where she needed to go, you know, and started looking at them from a different perspective and started saying those things to the point to where now she doesn't see her leg. When she looks in the mirror, now she sees them with gratitude and love. Appreciation. And so I think ultimately that's what you're saying is that, you know, I mean, whenever you look at your body, you know, your body, I mean, such gratitude that your body blessed you with 6 beautiful children.
right.
I mean, there's a lot of women that can't have children, you know, and your body has blessed you with 6. How amazing is that? How beautiful that is. That just sent chills over me. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, you froze up for a second. It's good now.
So, you know, all of these, this is, you know, such wisdom and such beauty in all of this wisdom. I mean, that anybody can adopt, anybody can, you know, take on, and what I call, you know, embrace it or incorporate it into their journey and their walk and their daily life, and to be like, you know, focal points, you know what I mean? Like, even if they took, how I would use this was take these 7 truths and start evaluating it and looking at where you are now and what things can you alter, what things can you change, what things can you see differently, what truths about you have you been not admitting to, and release those, and how can you build on that and grow forward. So this is you're wise.
I appreciate you. I think it's important, like, taking on this journey, that you keep in mind that you do, because you brought up gratitude, and that is definitely something I did not, it is something in the book that I really stress. You have to be thankful for all of it. You don't get to celebrate all the wins if you can't appreciate the losses. You don't get to celebrate the yes unless you embrace the no's. So have gratitude for where you are, and have the gratitude of saying, you know, man, I am at rock bottom. I'm thankful I'm still here. I'm thankful I'm getting that chance. Like, you can find gratitude in everything. And in finding that gratitude, it changes the relationship with yourself. And it also changes the relationships you have around you. If you start just focusing on those things that you're thankful for in yourself, you start noticing things you're thankful for in other people, and more of that becomes present. So I think just holding on to that gratitude and celebrating the tough spots, like understanding that everything you're going through, because we all go through stuff. Life happens to everybody. There's not an Instagram pinup princess that hasn't gone through hell and back. Like, I don't care if they're hiding it or not. Everybody goes through stuff. Okay. No one escapes life just because you're like, oh, I'm going to get my shit together and everything's going to be great. No, because stuff is still going to happen. So I think if you just can take that level of gratitude and understand that this stuff is happening for you, and if you are grateful for it, then you can embrace that. Like, no one's out to attack you. It's just life, you guys. It is life. No one makes it out alive. We just want you to make it out without regret.
Yes.
So just that gratitude in in understanding like everything that you need to work on and everything you need to change, be grateful for it, because some people never got that chance.
That's true. Well said. Well said, my dear. Well, I thank you so much for coming on and pouring out your wisdom. I can't wait to see your next book. And
I'm excited.
Right? That's so awesome. I want to you just got amazing wisdom beyond your years. So very, very, without sounding condescending, I'm so proud of you.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. I mean, you're definitely someone I admire, and I love that you're paving the way for other people, and you're setting it up for all of us, and that's a gift. Thank you for listening to your calling, for sure.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you again for taking out time and pouring into the ladies. I know that they will, Seven Maxims of Truth by Miss Branden, Lanette, and make sure you grab her book, Once Upon a Time Bitches. And anyway, that's it for us. So bye.